Hello, Geeker Things. Wade here, and today we're going to be talking about my predictions for New York Toy Fair 2019, and they're for the Black Series 6-inch. If you're a collector or Star Wars fan, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more collecting news updates as I cover the New York Toy Fair 2019. And without further ado, let's get started on my top 10 list for my predictions. And at number 10, I think we're going to get a Magna Guard. I think it would be really cool, especially since we have General Grievous coming in April, and he could use his bodyguards. Those guys were so cool. At number 9, I think we could get a Super Battle Droid, especially since we got the Battle Droid and that figure looks fantastic. I really, really want it. That set of 8 of them on Dorkside Toys tempts me so much just to have an entire squad of them. But I think we can get a Super Battle Droid because those guys are equally just as cool as Battle Droids. And then at number 8, we need to finish out the Rebels crew. We need Zeb. We already got Ezra and Chopper coming soon. Now we need one of the coolest characters from that show, and it's Zeb. I would like to see an Inquisitor personally, since that was like my favorite character, but I'm perfectly cool with Zeb. I thought he was awesome. But moving on, at number 7, I think we could potentially get a Hoth Rebel Soldier. It would be good because we could use some more Rebel troops like the Rebel Fleet Trooper that we have up there. We could also use an Endor one too. We just need standard troops to fill in the army. And then at number 6, oh, this one's going to be controversial for sure. So at number 6, this one I think Hasbro just needs to do. They need to do it. If they do it, guarantee you I'm going to buy it. I'm not kidding. If they made Jar Jar Binks. I'm dead serious. If SH Figuarts, a Japanese import company, can make an SH Figuarts Jar Jar Binks, Hasbro needs to step it up. Come on, they need to make a 6-inch Jar Jar Binks. I could use that for so many photos in toy photography, all kinds of parodies, whatnot. The imagination is literally endless. I would buy it. I'm not kidding. I would buy it. Anyway, and especially since it's the 20th anniversary of The Phantom Menace, so Misa back! Moving on from Jar Jar, number 5, I think it's highly possible we'll get a Luke crate, especially since we're getting the Vintage Collection one. It just seems like such a missed opportunity, but it wasn't Hasbro's fault because Disney did not tell him anything about Luke crate. And Luke crate is definitely one of the more recognizable parts of the horrific disaster known as The Last Jedi. But yeah, I think Hasbro can make a figure of him, and I think he'd be received pretty well. But after him, just no more Last Jedi figures. Just no. We already got Holdo. Just no. Solid pass. Alrighty, what next? Oh, number 4. I think this one would be really cool. Now, there was a rumor on Yak Face that we're going to get a couple of original trilogy characters. One's a pilot, one's Luke, and then one is a clone trooper. I think it's going to be the lieutenant clone trooper because we already got the captain, the commander, the sergeant, the standard trooper. We could definitely use the lieutenant. That would be perfect timing to finally get all the rankings, and they look superb with that bright blue stripes on them. I think it's a good idea. We could definitely use one, and I would buy a few of them because Lieutenant was probably one of my favorite ones. I have the Vintage Collection one of him, and he's one of my favorites for sure. Okay, number 3. Going along with what Yak Face said, I think we're going to get a Rebel pilot. Not entirely sure. It would be super duper cool if they just made... Gosh, who would I want them to make? I would definitely want Wedge, honestly. But if they made Jack Porkins, yeah, I would buy it. That would be so cool, especially since we have his droid. But yeah, I would want Jack Porkins. Number 2. Okay, so following Yak Face once again, they said it was going to be a Luke, maybe. Following that, we've already gotten quite a few Luke variants already in the Black Series, like quite a lot. He's definitely the most prevalent character for sure, but there is one that we have not seen of Luke yet, and that is his Yavin ceremony outfit. We could definitely use the 6-inch one of him because A, that yellow leather jacket is the coolest thing ever. B, that Luke outfit is awesome. C, we haven't gotten it yet. D, we always wanted it. I think we could definitely get this figure, but I have one more just slightly above that Luke that I think we're going to get. And that is going to be following the Phantom Menace theme once again, and that is going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi Padawan. Yes, I think we severely need this figure because Obi-Wan is one of the best parts about the Phantom Menace. And, come on, we just need him. We already got Qui-Gon, although personally I think they should update it because his eyes look weird and we could use a Phototech reel Liam Neeson. That would be so cool. But having a young Ewan McGregor Phototech reel, yeah, sign me up. I would buy it. So he's my number one, and I think he's the most likely figure that we'll get soon. Alrighty, so moving on to the Black Series vehicles. Just like the vintage collection, we only get maybe 1 or 2 of these a year, if that. And at number 5, I think this would be really cool. If they made Anakin's pod racer, and if they had a young Anakin figure to pilot it, they had the pink electricity bolts molded, connecting the things, if they had it on clear stands, I think that would be a really nice piece, honestly, and yeah, I would definitely buy it. I like pod racers, I'm not gonna lie. I think The Phantom Menace is still better than The Last Jedi and Attack of the Clones. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. I grew up with it because, that's another story. But yeah, I think a pod racer would be really cool and a really good idea. If Hasbro takes that route, we know how they still kind of feel about the prequels. It's a good start that they're releasing quite a few of them in Wave 20 with Mace Windu and Padme and the Battle Droid. But they still have a long ways to go. We need more than that. Like, we need more prequel characters than sequel characters at this point. At number 4, I think we could get a speeder bike. Now, not with the Scout Trooper, of course, because we're getting him in the Archive line, but I think we're going to get it with either Luke in his Endor poncho or Leia in her Endor battle gear. That would be really nice, and I think a lot of collectors would be really happy with that, and it just seems like a really good idea. Okay, so these next couple of ones are going to be Solo related. At number 3, I put the Imperial Patrol Speeder, because even though we saw it for like 5 seconds in Solo, I thought the design of that vehicle was really cool. The trooper that drove that vehicle was really cool. It's just a shame they didn't make it because it was cool, I'm not gonna lie. Just the look of it, it felt like Star Wars. That's what I liked about it. And then moving up past the Patrol Speeder at number 2, I put Han Solo's Land Speeder. Now, I personally am not really that big of a fan of it, but I understand that there are collectors out there who did enjoy it, and hey, that's perfectly fine. You're entitled to like whatever you like. Like, I like the Phantom Menace stuff, but I think it's possible that we could get it because we could definitely use a young Han Solo figure, especially with that Kira, and it just seems like a good idea. We got Malik too, and he's a fantastic figure, I've heard. I've seen him quite a bit, and it seems like a good idea. But moving past that, at number 1, I kind of got lazy here, I'm not going to lie. I just put as Episode 9 vehicle that is going to get released by the time of the movie or so. I don't know, it just seemed possible. But yeah, that's what I put for that one. Okay, so we'll move on to the Archive line next. We don't know if there's going to be a HasLab for Black Series or not, but we definitely know there is the Archive, and that line seems to be like a huge success. So in 4th place, since there are only packs of 4 figures, not 5, but in 4th place, I put Commander Cody. I think he's pretty possible because he's a really cool figure and he's pretty desirable right now. He's going for like about 80 to 100 bucks, maybe around eBay and Amazon. We can definitely use a Commander Cody. I wouldn't mind buying him. It would be cool though if his helmet was removable and you could see the Phototech real face under it. But if it's not, hey, that's okay. And then at number 3, I put Emperor Palpatine. Now, this is regarded as one of the worst Black Series figures ever made, yet for some reason he goes for 60 plus on eBay, which I find ridiculous. It's like, make up your minds, people. But if they made an updated Emperor with an entirely new face sculpt, or head sculpt, I should say, not the plastic garment robes, because he wouldn't have been able to sit down in his chair. It should have been all cloth goods from the start. if they did that Phototech real face, boy, that would be really cool. Oh, and especially make the cane long enough that to touch the ground. That just was like the silliest move on Hasbro's part. Okay, so at number 2, I put Bespin Luke. Yeah, we could definitely use one, especially with the Phototech real face. The original figure wasn't too bad. It's kind of so-so. He's pretty desirable, going around $50. Alrighty, number 1. I'm seeing a pattern here with the Phantom Menace, so I put Darth Maul. It seems obvious at this point. We could definitely use a Darth Maul figure, especially since he is so highly sought after. He goes for around 60 plus on eBay, I think, and he's pretty popular. Especially if they could do Phototech real printing of him and maybe update the printing applications to his face and head and stuff, since they kind of get misaligned easily. I think that's a really perfect candidate for Hasbro to do for the archive line. And that pretty much sums up this video. So, what did you guys think of my predictions for this year? You think they could happen? Could they not? I don't know. I typically get my predictions wrong in the end always, so who cares? If I get them right, awesome. If I don't, oh well, I tried. But let me know your predictions down in the comments below of what figures you think will come out soon and what characters you would like to see in the Black Series line made. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, stay tuned for more geeker things.